Hey guys, right away I'm going to start off this video by addressing the most incendiary thing that PlaguedMoth lied about in his livestream and in his video. So what we're going to do right away, get this out of the way before you click off the video because you're bored, is we're going to address the bullshit that he posted saying that I favorited images of children. We're going to do this easily. We're going to easily disprove this right now. Here we go. I favorited a photograph on DeviantArt in 2005. This photograph showed a downward angle of an adult model. PlaguedMoth decided that this girl had to be 15. If PlaguedMoth had done even a moment's research before launching into accusations of pedophilia, he would have seen other photos of that exact same model. And since they aren't at a downward angle, they clearly show that she was an adult. PlaguedMoth also made the claim of favoriting what he called lolicon. He then showed a drawing of a demon girl. Again, this was one favorite out of 500. The funny thing is that this is a self-portrait of the adult female artist. She drew this of herself. If he actually thought they were illegal images, why would he show them on his stream? It's clear that he never actually believed this. In the chat during this live stream, one of PlaguedMoth's fans registered an impersonation account in my name. They then posted in the chat, falsely admitting that the girl in the photo was 13. Again, other photos clearly show that she was an adult. This fake message was posted at the exact same time I posted a real one, in an incredibly active and spam-filled chat, making it obviously false. There's no way that these two messages would come up together if they were both from me. Disregarding all red flags, PlaguedMoth put the fake account forward as if it was real, and he continues to do so to this very day. Further, the account has been inarguably proven to be fake due to the fact that my real account has an option to block it. The fake account had no block option. The reason for this is that you cannot block a deleted account, and whoever made the fake account impersonating me immediately deleted it after posting. Alright, so we're not that far into the video and we have already proven that PlaguedMoth lied about his biggest allegations. If you want to stay tuned and watch the rest of this, we're just going to go lie after lie after lie and we're going to disprove every single fucking word. Ever notice that PlaguedMoth starts his videos with a copyright disclaimer explaining fair use, showing that he does know what it is and that he thinks it applies to him watching other people's content? Yet, he strikes other channels for doing the same thing with his content and suddenly forgets what fair use is.
In this video, we will detail allegations levied against this person, and it should be treated as such, and it means not to encourage harassment. The information provided will be brought into light for you as the viewer to make your own decisions. However, the accused is considered innocent until proven guilty in the court of law.
If you actually believed that, you wouldn't have made this thumbnail, so you actually are proven to be a liar within 20 seconds of your video starting.
Some of his online aliases are part of his reputation.
Notice that he's saying online alias instead of username, because online alias sounds scarier. I guess PlaguedMoth is his online alias.
On Reddit, he is user/Tormentalist. He also has a dead YouTube channel under the name Tormental.
Tormental and Tormentalist are the same username, but with IST on the end because Tormental was taken. You're trying to make it sound like I'm hiding behind a variety of different names, and you're failing miserably.
Wolf spends most of his free time managing his website.
Managing what exactly? There's literally nothing to manage on my website. This is part of PlaguedMoth trying to make it sound like I have no life outside of being online, something that is true of him, which will be proven later in the video.
And searching his name on various social media platforms and harassing those who critique him in any formal way.
I am in no way that famous. If I spent every day all day searching my name, it would be 365 days of no mention, and then one where somebody said I was a fuckhead. Further, when he talks about going after critics, he's actually talking about when I reply to people who are saying things about me personally. Like, if you're gonna call me a piece of shit, I'll reply and say fuck you. People like PlaguedMoth think that they get to say anything they want about anyone at any time without ever being questioned or replied to.
Obsessing and demanding that they submit into silence. He also moderates various subreddits, most notably r/creepypasta, a subreddit whose audience is primarily children and teens.
Cool. Prove it. No, seriously. Reddit doesn't share that kind of data, even with the people who own the subreddit, so I have no idea what the demographics are on r/creepypasta. You can guess, sure, but PlaguedMoth, you really gonna guess and say that it's fact?
My first encounter with Wolf was on Twitter. I made a comment about how it is well known that he harassed and falsely flagged a trans content creator's video.
If somebody uses a work that I created for their own profit, I will DMCA them. I don't care if they're trans, cisgendered, I don't care anything about who they are behind the screen. If you use my work for profit, you get a DMCA. I ask nicely for people to not do that, and if they refuse, I file the copyright strike. The fact that one out of many, many people who have tried this shit happen to be trans does not give you the right to call someone a transphobe. It's not transphobic to disagree with a person who's trans. By the way, you're the absolute last person who should ever be talking about filing false DMCAs.
He also obsessively dove into her past and accused her of rape and grooming.
No, a group of people from Nyx's past, who were provably connected to her, wrote a document about alleged abuses that they had suffered at her hands. I was sent this document, and I made a video signal boosting the victims. Now, PlaguedMoth, when you say you care about victims and you want to see justice served, is that true or is that a lie? Because it seems like you'll throw them right under the bus the minute you're having an argument with somebody. Saying that I personally made the accusations against Nyx Fears is literally erasing these people out of the equation.
I was quickly informed he is a member of That Creepy Readings Discord.
No. I went into the Discord once to drop a link, and then I left. That is not being a member of his Discord, which you say as if it's current. By the way, if you look on PlaguedMoth's Twitter account, you can actually find that he himself was talking about joining That Creepy Reading and that Savox dude on Discord. Like, he himself was trying to get in touch with them on Discord. What is his point?
There, Wolf had the role Legendary Writer.
I actually was not on the Discord long enough to get a role, I don't believe, and you may notice that PlaguedMoth cropped out the name of the profile, which has this rank. There'd be no reason to crop it out if it is actually my username, so why did he cut out whose profile this really is? But yeah, you can even see in his video that in the screen cap showing me posting a link on the Discord, my name is white, not red like the role would have made it. So he himself proved that he's lying in his own video on screen in front of everyone, because he says I'm a member of the Discord and that I have that rank. That cannot be true, based entirely on what he has shown.
Other information suggests that he may have helped TCR script videos before he left the server.
Now you may be asking yourself, is PlaguedMoth going to show any evidence of this claim? Well, no, because he made it up.
As I was quickly tipped off by one of his former victims of his actions and his patterns of abuse and harassment of victims and critics that he feels that he can silence.
Alright, let's see if we can translate that. So what PlaguedMoth is actually saying is, someone told me something that may or may not be true. I don't care about validating any of it, because I want to cause problems for someone I don't like. Very cool, PlaguedMoth, actually delegitimizing victims while making up your own fake ones.
At a glance, his incel behaviors are the first red flags.
As an asexual person who has always been grossed out by the idea of touching someone else's insides in any way, I have to ask you to stop referring to me incorrectly.
He quite literally lives online.
Okay, let's take a look at which one of us lives online. PlaguedMoth, you are terminally connected, you are internet addicted, and all we have to do to prove this is scroll through your Twitter account. Today is the 27th of May. Let's see how many times he's tweeted within the month. Alright, let's stop here. The last tweets here you can see are May 20th. Today is May 27th. So what I just went through is 1 week of tweets. Alright, let's continue. Alright, where are we now? May 9th. We're still not out of May. We're getting close, maybe. But we're still not out of just this month alone in terms of tweets. Let's continue, and I guess we'll go a little faster this time. Alright, we're almost out of April now. I think you get the idea. PlaguedMoth lives online. When I can sit here and easily prove that he is projecting and what he says about others is true of himself, you have to start getting really worried about the fact he calls everyone a pedophile.
And especially on his main Reddit account, user/Tormentalist, where he often gets into aggressive and degrading arguments with strangers, many of which just happen to be marginalized individuals.
So are they strangers, or do you know who they are? Because what you just said is, Slimebeast gets into arguments with strangers, people I don't know anything about, and then you said that they're marginalized people. How do you know? This is really a shining example of exactly what PlaguedMoth does throughout this entire video, which is make shit up as if he's psychic and can read other people's minds. He goes on to say Slimebeast attacks anyone he feels might be a woman or something like that. I'm living in your head rent-free, not the other way around. You have no idea what I feel or think about what someone else might be. Truth be told, I don't take into account anything about who I'm arguing with. I don't treat people differently based on who they are. I mean, do you treat people differently based on who they are?
One quick example is a thread about a video where a woman who was counter-protesting an anti-trans rally is assaulted by a police officer.
Wrong. The video was actually of the Wall of Moms, a line of older women, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, I guess in some cases, standing at the front of a protest line, right in front of police, as the police were marching into the crowd. Speaking personally, I would just prefer that people didn't put their mothers at the front of a crowd to be the first people beaten, shot, tased, and pepper sprayed by police in order to get a video that they can show online. But that's just my personal opinion. People are free to agree or disagree. However, PlaguedMoth is going to take the fact that I don't agree with that particular protest tactic and say that I'm not allowed to think that it's hateful and bigoted to disagree with a single tactic in the playbook of protesting. It's worth noting that PlaguedMoth's evidence, quote-unquote, is so fucking thin that he has to go to a single argument in a single Reddit thread from years ago. I guess that since I didn't want to see a group of older women being shot and tased, that makes me a misogynist. Meanwhile, since PlaguedMoth likes to watch women being tortured, assaulted, murdered, he's the enlightened feminist.
In my wife's own experiences, this man has gone out of his way to target her specifically, and he seems to make a fine point to degrade her.
Alright, well, this is the part where PlaguedMoth is going to hide behind his wife, Mommy. The thing is, PlaguedMoth and his wife have a pretty good idea. They have a pretty good tactic, like a battle tactic, which is anytime anyone goes after PlaguedMoth, his wife inserts herself into the discussion and starts harassing people. This way, when anyone says anything back to her, PlaguedMoth can say, "Oh, that person attacked my wife." Anybody can go on Twitter right now and look this up. The first message between PlaguedMoth's wife and me was her messaging me. Every discussion we had after that was her harassing me. But as I said, this is a very good idea. This is a very good tactic because anytime anyone has an argument with them, they're attacking his wife. You know, I think I'm starting to understand why PlaguedMoth got so angry that I didn't like the idea of putting women forward as a meat shield.
As well as some of the people calling him out, comparing them to animals, calling them monkeys or subhuman.
Alright, listen, I have no respect for people who get off to gore. I believe it's subhuman behavior. I also will not elaborate on that any further because I think it's universal that everybody would think that, except for you and people like you. As for calling people quote-unquote monkey, it's interesting to note that what he's referring to is when he said he was going to start a live stream, and I replied to him on Twitter saying dance monkey, as in entertain me clown. Very common term. Dance monkey dance. But yeah, This guy actually reported that to Twitter as racism, pretending he was black.
And of course insulting their weight despite being obese himself.
Yeah, dude, I'm fat. That means I get to say it.
Wolf reveals in several comments that he identifies as asexual, which unfortunately seems to be a common occurrence with these people shielding themselves with asexuality as a mean to divert suspicion.
He said it! He said it!
Back off, PlaguedMoth. I'm not dressing in drag and going to read to school children. You don't have to pull out so many bigoted talking points. It's actually amazing. If you watch PlaguedMoth and how he talks for any period of time, you'll actually see that he hides behind several layers of tolerance, but that bigotry comes out really quick.
His abuse and aggression is most certainly aimed at women primarily.
Women such as Creeps McPasta, Mr. Creepypasta, Vincent Vinacava, Old Woman Murphy, Xylon X, Nightmind, Max Landis, Ian Schutz. Like, should I continue? PlaguedMoth. There's a new, strong and independent woman for the list. But yeah, you should get the point by now that I don't know who the fuck he's talking about, and neither does he.
In this segment, I'm going to read verbatim Wolf's posts from the lolcow forums.
Oh, we finally got here. Some of you may have noticed that on my channel a while back I made a video called Slimebeast Exposed, and in that video I predicted pretty much everything he has said so far in this video, as well as everything he's going to say throughout the rest of the video. But this is my favorite part. There's a image board called lolcow.forum, and it's an anonymous image board. So, what is the key phrase in that? Anonymous image board. Anonymous, right? Essentially, it's like 4chan. Every post is by, quote-unquote, anonymous. So, this dingus is going to go through a random thread on lolcow.forum, and he's going to say that I posted this thread. What is his evidence? So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to speed through this, and I'm just going to show you that this is indeed what he does in his video. But we're not going to address any of his bullshit here, because honestly, I can look up any fucking anonymous thread and say that he wrote it. Perhaps the most ridiculous thing of all is that it should be patently obvious who wrote this thread. It includes a lot of information that someone would only know if they were friends with Mr. Creepypasta, such as who he was dating or sleeping with in real life. I mean, those weren't things that were posted on the internet. That, plus the fact that a lot of the content posted in the thread is Facebook content that would be shared with friends, directly implies that the person who posted this thread and the people who were posting things in the follow-up comments were in Mr. Creepypasta's friend circle. A place that I, sure as fuck, would not be. So not only should it be obvious to anyone with half a brain cell that you cannot attribute an anonymous post to someone directly, but also everything in this thread points to the fact that this was a friend of Mr. Creepypasta, or a former friend, who was posting things that had been shared to friends. Additionally, it should be noted that... Wait a minute. There is one post here that's not written by Anonymous. 2 days ago, someone named PlaguedMoth wrote,
"Hi, it's me, the gore god himself, PlaguedMoth from YouTube. Sorry to necro a thread, but I love corpses, so whatever. I am actually the Anon who started this thread all the way back in 2017. If anyone has any new information on any of the people mentioned in this thread, please let me know. I want to make a series about chomos in the YouTube horror community."
Wait a minute, that means that PlaguedMoth must have written this thread, because there's absolutely no way to fake information on the internet.
One thing to note as well, Wolf has mentioned before that he is a user of the Kiwi Farms forums. He now since denies that.
Well, that's incorrect, but then again, PlaguedMoth knows that. He's just lying. I have said in the past that I went to Kiwi Farms to berate and make fun of the people who were there. Oh, there's an idea for you, PlaguedMoth. Maybe you could get some of those poor, abused Kiwi Farms users to talk about how mean I am.
Coincidentally, or perhaps not, at the same time this thread began, Slimebeast also released a document.
Wait a minute, you're saying that I released a document collecting links from across the web of other people's testimony about Mr. Creepypasta, and I included that thread in the list of links to other people's testimony? Goddamn, PlaguedMoth, you kind of walked into that one, didn't you?
The writing patterns and the fingers and the ear arguments are as transparent as can be.
This motherfucker is going to claim that he's a forensic analyst capable of analyzing writing patterns. I tell you what, let's take a look at this post, we'll read through it a little bit, and we'll see what you think. Does this sound like me writing this? Last year, I backed a project by a YouTuber that I used to respect named Mr. Creepypasta. First of all, never backed his project. Second of all, never respected him. Third, no space between Mr. and Creepypasta. AKA Spike Edmund. The project was a creepypasta-themed book, comic book, I would put a dash between creepypasta and themed, a hyphen, comic book written by himself and another horror author, Vincent V. Cava. I think I've always written Vincent V. Cava. They raised over $25K for the project, campaign completed June 2016. Not how I would have phrased that at all. I would have said, they raised over $25K for the project, the campaign, whatever. Since then, most, if not all, the backers have received nothing they were promised. MCP posts no updates on Kickstarter to update on why the rewards are not there, THEIR, then snaps at people on his Twitter when asked when they are coming. This is like, why would I fucking care about this? Not a backer. Every single time he has been asked on Twitter, he responds that, quote, the hardcovers are printing. It takes a year to print hardcovers? I don't know, maybe it does. I find that hard to believe. Starting a sentence with "and." Good lord, I may be a shit writer, but I'm not that shit a writer. And in the meantime, he's managed to release not one, but two, incorrect number of ellipses, no space after the ellipses, but two of his quote-unquote own paperback books through Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. Isn't it Barnes & Noble? I don't know. I would ask anybody out there to find any post I've ever made that sounds like this. This many mistakes, this type of writing. Now, admittedly, I have an advantage because I know how I write and PlaguedMoth doesn't, but then that's the exact point. PlaguedMoth doesn't know how I write.
He weaponizes small sock accounts.
Cool. Prove it. Actually, you don't even have to reach that bar, because it's pretty much impossible to prove if something is a sock account unless you have an IP address or some such thing. Meaning, by the way, you would have no idea if I do or don't do that, so you are provably lying. But you don't even have to reach that bar. Just describe a time when it happened.
And miserable smear tactics with no evidence.
Cool. Prove it. Link a video, show a video. Link a post, show a post where I make accusations without any evidence whatsoever.
Or trying to garner support from some of his mediocre YouTube channels.
Pot, meat, kettle. Take a look in the mirror, PlaguedMoth. That's exactly what you're doing. Taking your mediocre YouTube channel and trying to weaponize your audience. By the way, they don't actually back you up. Some of them will leave nasty comments on a YouTube video that I put up. None of them will actually click dislike, though. So as far as YouTube knows, they're just happy viewers.
No one really knows who he is except his victims.
Neat. Describe any time that I've ever victimized anyone, ever. And I'm not talking about calling someone a fuckface after they've called me a shithead. Try to follow, PlaguedMoth. You starting shit does not make you the victim. But yeah, you keep throwing this out. Slimebeast and his many, many victims. You don't have to name anybody. I understand that, because, that's obvious. But can you give an example? Can you give a scenario? Can you tell your audience anything other than, trust me, bro? Do you really think your audience is that fucking dumb?
In the case of May Leeds, also known as Nick's Fears.
Uh-oh, now he's run out of things to say, so he's gonna repeat stuff from earlier in the video. You already talked about this.
May clapped back and shut Wolf down, and so did her audience for his transphobic statements.
What statements? Hello?
Including falsely filing a copyright strike on her channel, claiming she took it directly from his channel.
Alright guys, I want you to stay with me on this. I know it's a bit long in the video here, but I need everybody paying attention. PlaguedMoth says that I told YouTube May took the video directly from my channel. In actuality, I filed a copyright strike because she read out the entire story in full with no transformative changes and just was like, oh, that's neat. Here's the question I have for you, watching this video right now. How would PlaguedMoth know what I wrote in the DMCA form? PlaguedMoth says, Slimebeast said that May's video was taken directly from his channel. How would he know that? First of all, I know it's not true, because that's not what was written in. But it's interesting to point out, he's claiming to know what was written on a DMCA form that neither May nor anyone else would see. Again, regardless of where you stand on any issues going on in this video, he was just proven to be a liar.
And he made an immediate video gloating about it and admitting he made transphobic comments calling her a man, which he has since hidden.
Alright, so everybody who's been on my channel for years now, do you remember me posting a video about calling Nick Spheres a man? Because I sure don't. Reason being, it doesn't exist. This is what PlaguedMoth does. A bunch of misrepresentation with a little bit of just straight up lying. Alright, so at this point, we've established multiple times that PlaguedMoth has been proven to have lied in his video. Some of the things, you can't really prove or disprove something, but we have proven him to be lying a couple times. Now we're going to go a step further. In his video, he shows some footage from one of my unlisted videos. Now he thinks it was deleted, but it was just unlisted. So he thought he had free reign to edit the video and misrepresent what I said. Let's take a look. Oh, Slimebeast DMCA'd the video because he doesn't like negative reviews, but... So why exactly did I take this action? Well, this guy is so bad at what he does that he cut it after I said, but how much more obvious can you make it that you're cutting footage together? Here's the actual footage, uncut. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, Slimebeast DMCA'd the video because he doesn't like negative reviews. But no. Your review was positive. You said in your review that you liked the story, so, not liking negative reviews can't possibly be the reason. And so we have just proven that PlaguedMoth tried to secretly edit footage to misrepresent what I was saying. Thusly, we have proven that he has zero credibility, and we have proven that he will fake evidence, and we have proven that he is just a wanton liar who is saying anything he can to try to cause harm to other people. This is beyond questioning. This is beyond argument. He has just been shown to be manipulating footage. I'm going to go and edit this video that I unlisted, and I'm going to go ahead, PlaguedMoth, and I'm going to relist it. I unlist videos from time to time because I, clog up my channel with a bunch of bullshit, and it looks bad, so I say to myself, you know what, I'm going to unlist a big swath of videos that are no longer relevant. And this video about Nick Spheres was no longer relevant. So we're going to make this public, and we're going to make it so that anybody who has watched your video can now go to this video and see that you manipulated the footage. They can watch this for themselves. They can check the upload date to ensure that this is the original version, and they can see that you are a lying scumbag. Nobody even has to trust me. They can go verify for themselves.
This is a clear violation of the YouTube DMCA copyright system.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So taking somebody else's work and using it in full for profit, and then saying, I liked that, is okay. Okay, so now we know. Well, thank you very much, PlaguedMoth, lawyer extraordinaire. Or maybe you're not a lawyer. Maybe you're one of the politicians who penned the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. I don't know. You're a forensic writing analyst and a lawyer. You know more than me. You know more than YouTube. You know more than the people who drafted the law. Interesting. By the way, how do you justify reading an entire story in full and just saying, huh, that was cool. Anyway, everybody buy my merch and blah, 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 blah. How do you justify that? Is that not using someone else's work for profit? You know that you can file a copyright strike for showing an image in a video, right? Like, if the image is used in such a way that it's crucial to the entire production of the video. So, using a story in the same manner, I don't know why you think that is magically different. By the way, this comes from the motherfucker who files copyright strikes left and right if people use footage of him to comment on things he has said. PlaguedMoth will file a copyright strike against this video because I am showing his clips and commenting on what he has done. This guy may be the biggest hypocrite on YouTube, a guy who watches women get slaughtered but claims that it's misogynist to disagree with one. A guy who calls someone who's asexual a secret pedophile because asexuality is just a cover, yet he claims to be like a trans ally and an LGBT champion. A guy who claims to be a badass edgelord who doesn't care what you think, so cry about it, but also has such thin skin that he can't handle the word fat. I think that we have the biggest walking contradiction on YouTube, but then again, I believe that every single action this guy takes is solely self-beneficial. He will say and he will do anything in the moment if he feels like it benefits himself, regardless of morality, truth, or consistency.
Another content creator who will remain anonymous for now messaged me alleging that Wolf got his private cell phone number and then began to harass him, demanding that he lies about me.
I love the idea that this guy thinks anyone out there will believe that someone looked up the cell phone number of another content creator, called that cell phone number, and then said, "Hey, I know that we've never met and you don't know me and you have no reason to ever do anything for me, but could you please lie about PlaguedMoth?" Now, I don't doubt that somebody lied to PlaguedMoth and sent this to him. It's entirely possible. But, dude, you gotta realize when you're being fed bait.
Another alleges that they were attacked for years by him and his friends and still continue to be harassed by them.
Neat, that also didn't happen. Back it up with any kind of evidence whatsoever. Better yet, ask the troll who's feeding you this bullshit to give you some evidence.
Deep diving into the social media accounts of Wolf.
You mean clicking the link on my homepage?
Within his DeviantArt is some of the most damning evidence against him. We will now explore the evidence there, and how this led to Wolf accidentally admitting to stalking a child for 18 years.
Spoiler alert, none of that happened.
Within his account on DeviantArt, he has over 400 favorited images, most of which aren't too alarming on the surface, but as you dive deeper it becomes clear that the self-proclaimed asexual...
By all means, keep claiming that an LGBTQ identity is made up to cover pedophilia, you fucking idiot. So let me explain something for all the people out there. Being asexual doesn't mean that you can't appreciate art. Your eyes and brain do indeed still function. Male characters, I have favorites of female characters. I have favorites of dogs and cats and horses and birds. Doesn't mean I want to fuck them. Imagine, as an example, going up to a gay man who's looking at a statue of a woman and saying, "Hey, you're appreciating that artwork? You must not really be gay, you liar."
Author of children's stories does have a preferred body type.
And that body type is Mario on a skateboard. No, it's Mutagen Man from Ninja Turtles. No, it's mummies. That preferred body type is buckets of blood. That body type is the Bic Man. No, wait. That preferred body type is a man with half his face cut off. No, it's a scorpion. That's his body type. No, Harley Quinn from the comics? No, a giant vampire. Maybe his type is fucking a mushroom cloud? No, his body type, his preference is a zombie with one arm. No, it's Slash from the Ninja Turtles. No, it's the Ghostbusters. No, his preferred body type is the Statue of Liberty and Obama. No, wait, his body type must be a man with a box on his head. Okay, wait, actually, you know what? I think we've narrowed it down. His body type is actually a cube with a tree growing out of it or a fish skeleton. Wait, no, I think we're really onto something. It's George Carlin. George Carlin, that's his ideal.
Wolf would try to refute these claims in a voice call with me, claiming the child in the art has pubic hair, so she's not a child.
Actually, what happened was PlaguedMoth said that this was Lolicon. So, starting out in the discussion, I said, well, it can't be Lolicon because it's not in fitting with what Lolicon people enjoy, which is a disgusting term to have come out of my mouth. There was no opportunity to have further conversation because throughout the entire stream, PlaguedMoth had me turned way the fuck down so he could constantly talk over me, interrupt, ask questions, and then talk over the answers, which was very obviously what he had planned from the start. Still, I got what I wanted out of him. Further, I wasn't sure if this bastard was going to make the artist public. I didn't want the artist to be harassed by his people, especially when he's accusing this artist of drawing illegal content. But after the stream, I saw that he did put up usernames of these people. So now that I know that their identities are public, thanks to him, I feel comfortable in pointing out more solid proof, such as being able to show that the photo model was indeed an adult, and being able to show that the drawing was a self-portrait of the adult artist. The implication here being that PlaguedMoth doesn't believe women should be allowed to draw themselves unless they're stacked enough for his preferences.
And even posing an argument that she's not human.
And then he goes back to peppering in lies because that was never an argument I made.
Unfortunately, the audio for that segment of the stream was lost due to a poor internet connection.
This is yet another lie. PlaguedMoth is lying about having lost the audio because he has no clip to back up the claim, saying that I was arguing she wasn't human and different things like that. So because he doesn't have that audio because it doesn't exist, he is claiming that the entire audio to the call was lost. Unfortunately, he forgot that he has his Kick stream up, still to this day, and the Kick stream has the audio perfectly intact. Let's see if we can prove it.
Talk to my chat.
What's your questions? What's your questions?
Jesus Christ, pedophile. So, why did you stalk and attempt to dox multiple people?
Cool. Who?
I asked you the question.
Don't know. You don't know. Okay. Well,
Yes or
next
no?
Question?
Did you do that?
No.
Okay. Why did...
What do you know? The audio isn't lost. PlaguedMoth is proven yet again to be lying. Is anybody keeping count? I should have put a counter on screen for the lies, but it's too late and I'm not going back now.
He also continuously avoided the question of the child's age in the photo despite defending himself with the claim that he knew the photographer and the subject was, quote, a friend.
Bitch, how are you going to say that I avoided the question as to the age while showing on screen that I directly said the age? Now, granted the age isn't actually 20, as I said in the chat, 20s. I don't fucking know the exact age. I do know that these people were adults. So yet again we have PlaguedMoth proving himself a liar yet again by showing on screen what he's lying about.
But under the pressure from the audience, he eventually cracked and admitted that, I quote, the child was 13.
As previously mentioned, this has already been disproven several days ago by a screen recording that was taken during the live stream. As you can see, there are two messages here that came up at the exact same time, which would not be possible if they were both me. The chat was moving way too fast for me to write 2 full sentences and send them within a half a fucking second. So obviously, on the face of it, this is already fake. Secondly, as you can see in the video, you can block any of these users in the chat. When you click on the little options next to their name, you have the option to block them. However, you cannot block the fake Slimebeast account that one of his fans registered. The reason you can't block that account is because the account was deleted. The person registered that account, posted that comment in the chat, and then immediately deleted the account so that nobody could find it if they tried to search my name. PlaguedMoth has seen this video. PlaguedMoth knows that this is fake. PlaguedMoth continues to lie. Further, you'd have to be pretty fucking stupid to think that anyone, in this case, would say, okay, the child was 13. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It is obviously fake on many levels, and PlaguedMoth himself is completely aware of this.
He would later change the story to say it was a cell photo of a 20-year-old woman.
That's actually a photograph of the photographer taking a selfie. That is not a photograph of the model from the previous photo. Nice trick. So when this dude says, she was 20 in 2012, what he's doing here is he's taking a photograph that the photographer took in 2012, and he's saying that that's the model, which it is not. I said that the photograph from 2005 featured a model who was in her 20s. These are two different photos and these are two different people. Further, as you can see, I never even fucking said that the photographer was 20 at the time of the photo I posted. He's just taking a bunch of different information from a bunch of different things, throwing it all together in a pot and stirring until he gets what he wants. For anybody who wasn't following any of that, let me break it down. Model in photo, in her 20s, in 2005. Photographer, in her 20s, in 2005. Never said photographer was 20 in 2012. PlaguedMoth is just wholesale making up shit at this point.
He had been following her since 2005, favoriting images and obsessing over her.
Alright, so PlaguedMoth says that I favorited a lot of pictures of this girl right here and obsessed over her for 18 years. Now, you may notice that in actuality, there are no other photos of her in my entire list of favorites. Furthermore, nobody has any screenshots of her in my favorites anywhere else. You may notice that he has screen caps that he was sent by somebody, showing things in my favorite list. Where are the screen caps of any pictures of her? Here. This is the only picture of that model I favorited from that photographer. You can see another picture from that photographer here, another picture from that photographer here, different model, and I think there are probably some more here, but you will not find this model anywhere else on this list. Feel free to go through this list. Feel free to go through and look. You will not find that model anywhere here. PlaguedMoth has wantonly made up and just wholesale lied about adding a bunch of photographs of a single model to my favorites across 18 years. Literally not here. Literally never here. I don't know if this is archived by the Wayback Machine or at archive.org. Go take a fucking look. It's not fucking here.
And perhaps by coincidence, he also made his account around the same time as she did.
So right now we're going to give PlaguedMoth a little bit of an education, okay? The education is going to be in doing your research. Now, if you looked at this page for any amount of time, you would have noticed a little tiny ribbon on the left side. This ribbon means that this was a daily deviation. A daily deviation is an image that was on the front page of DeviantArt back when that meant something. This was featured on the front page of the site in 2005 when it was posted. So there you go. I logged into DeviantArt. I saw this photo on the front page. I talked to the artist who seemed like a cool person, and I ended up favoriting the image. The artist, by the way, being the photographer, who is a different person from the model. I feel like squirrels probably can tell people apart better than you can, PlaguedMoth.
In the next segment, I will be playing a few clips from the voice call I had with Christopher Wolf.
Didn't you just say a little while back that the audio of the voice call was lost, and that's why you couldn't provide any evidence of one of the claims you made? Now you have the voice call. Are you trying to self-destruct at this point? Legitimately, is this... Are you trying to do this?
Yes, DeviantArt, you
By the way, this is the same guy who just lied to everybody and said I was the one who came on his stream and was the one deflecting, talking over, and insulting. Now, since he was screaming like a crazy banshee, and he had me turned way the fuck down so that my voice was silenced, you know, a tactic of an abuser, you're not going to get much out of this fucking audio. He gave himself free range to just make up anything he wants because you can't fucking hear anything I'm fucking saying. So I guess we're moving on.
Multiple times, Wolf changes his defense and argues that the model was an adult. He later said he knows the photographer personally and that the subject was allegedly her friend.
Hey, moron! The model can be her friend and in her 20s. What the actual shit are you talking about? I love how he takes those two things and says he changed his story. First, he said that they were friends. Second, he said that they were in their 20s. Those aren't mutually exclusive. Is this guy brain damaged, or just that dishonest? I actually literally do not know at this point.
It was then revealed she was 13. He would immediately claim the account to be fake, despite being the only Slimebeast in the chat.
Wow, almost like the account was deleted.
Then he claimed Photoshop, video editing, all within a matter of 2 minutes or so.
Almost like I didn't say that, so I immediately thought, wow, that has to be photoshopped. Then, I got a video showing me that it was a fake account. By the way, this is already proven to be false. Why are you still hanging on to this?
And the concerning factor is here is just one example of his predatory behavior. He also claims to know the subject and the artist, and said the photographer and himself were in their 20s at the time backing up this claim.
No, I only said that I knew the photographer. Please, by all means, provide any fucking evidence.
Since the live stream, he has since blocked me and begun to try to clean up any trace of his predatory activity on his accounts.
Well, actually, PlaguedMoth had me blocked, which is already visible in one of my previous videos. You can go back and look at my videos and see. This motherfucker blocked me. After a while, I did block him because he kept unblocking me, saying something, and then reblocking me like a true fucking coward. Additionally, he says that I'm trying to clean up records, okay? So, got a question for you guys. If he knows the records are out there, if he knows there's something to clean up, would he not have screenshots of it? Would he not have it backed up? Would he not have it saved? Would it not be recorded? What am I cleaning up, supposedly? I haven't deleted fucking anything. It's incredibly brainless for him to say this, because if he knew I was cleaning up something, he would know what it is that I'm cleaning up, which would mean he would already have evidence of it. So, again, for the millionth time, can you provide any proof of what you're saying?
And has made 6 or 7 total videos about me in hopes of diverting the negative attention and having his audience harass me.
More projection.
Out of fear for being exposed for his behavior, Slimebeast has since made posts about myself on the r/creepypasta subreddit.
Now, when you say that I've made posts about you on the creepypasta subreddit, do you mean the one singular post? Is that what you mean? Can you be honest about anything at any point? By the way, the post on the creepypasta subreddit was made regarding gore content and PlaguedMoth, because people are definitely going to start showing up to the subreddit the minute you fucking start talking about it.
And others. And I have had minors threaten me consistently since.
Yeah, no you haven't. If that were the case, you'd be showing it on screen. You have a lot of things that you're showing on screen out of context about me, like where I said if you drove out here you'd disappear because you directly said to me on your stream that you were going to drive out here and beat the shit out of me, to which I was like, haha, that seems like a really bad idea. But yeah, if you had evidence of that, you'd be showing it, you'd be showing the threats, and furthermore, you'd be showing the usernames of the people threatening you in order to get them in trouble. So no, you have not been consistently threatened by children ever since. You have not been consistently threatened by anyone. In fact, if you were being threatened by random people, you would have no way to know if they were children. There's nothing about what you're saying that rings true. As always, there's an open offer for you to start posting any shred of evidence.
He has also hidden the moderators list for the subreddits he belongs to so no one can warn them or contact them about the situation, and he can control the narrative without bias.
Alright, so here's a case where a little research and a single brain cell would have gone a long way for our friend PlaguedMoth. How do you hide a moderator list? Not sure you can, nor would Reddit want you to. This could cause confusion. So wait a minute. Why is PlaguedMoth not seeing the moderator list? Oh! The mod list is automatically hidden for logged out or banned users. I see. That makes a lot of sense. I love the fact that PlaguedMoth just made up the lie that the mod list has been hidden by me to prevent people from contacting the moderators when you can't hide the moderator list. What a fucking clown.
Wolf's Dead channel contains many videos, in fact thousands, including upwards of 10 hours of him playing Among Us and Minecraft with fans.
Ooh, actually you just lied again. Not with fans, with friends. These people were Pastel Bell, Repzilla, Tamimi, different people like that who were in the YouTube T community. Now, I kind of fell in with these people for a little while because, you know, the whole Creeps McPasta thing, that kind of blew up. And so I got invited to play Among Us while they streamed it. I figured I might as well record it while they streamed it and get some content for myself. So no, not with fans, with friends. As for Minecraft, again, with friends. I mean, I had a series, quote-unquote, on my channel called Crafter Hours, which had like a rotating cast of people. Do some research or constantly look stupid.
And his most viewed video uses a clickbait-type title, but pure and simply shows users how to allegedly find pornography on the YouTube platform under the guise of being for awareness.
Moron, stupid fucking moron, stupid inbred motherfucker, dumb fucking bitch, stupid fucking moron, fucking goddamn moron, stupid fucking moron, what a motherfucking dunce. Yes, restrict my video to viewers over 18. No, it's not. Made for kids. Uh-oh. Moron.
This video is not age restricted.
Moron.
Within minutes of arguing on Twitter, Wolf flashed his alleged PayPal account and screenshots and video to try to leverage power to me and intimidate.
Actually, I posted a screen cap of my PayPal account in response to him saying, "Guess what? I'm making money right now off the dead and you can't stop me." Attempting to use his money and power as leverage to intimidate. The projection never stops with this guy.
This is where I fear the allegations from his Discord server are true.
Now see, the problem here is that if you're going to bring up the allegations from his Discord server, you may have wanted to mention that previously in the video. Unless you're just saying something that sounds important, like making it up on the spot.
And with his passion for harassing, stalking, and doxing others.
Alright, all claims that you made at the start of this video provided very, very thin quote-unquote evidence for, and I have thoroughly disproven all of that quote-unquote evidence in my video now. So, I think you're just putting together a bunch of slander, actually.
And in my personal opinion, I feel Wolf is one of the most dangerous Redditors online.
You're fired.
As he actively rallies and openly manipulates a very large and young community of people to do his dirty work.
That's you. Yeah, baby, that's you.
Many people are afraid of being doxxed or further harassed by Wolf and his friends.
Who? I don't mean the people who are supposedly afraid, which don't exist. I mean, what friends? Who, specifically? Like, if you think that my friends are doing something wrong, who?
His abusive smear tactics hold no substance and are purely riding on his delusions of power and fame that he actually does not have. He tried to victimize the wrong people and is being exposed for who he truly is.
Yeah, baby, that's you.
One more thing. It was very alarming with his wording regarding the claims of Daisy's destruction. He insists to know what the uncut footage looks like without watching it.
Wow, it's almost like there are news reports showing a blurred section of the image where obviously something illegal is taking place because otherwise it would not be blurred out. How does he know what the unedited visuals look like? Maybe I know that there's fucking illegal imagery on the screen because it's goddamn blurred out, you dumb fuck. The point being that in your trailer that you made, you cropped this blurred section out. Maybe because it wasn't blurred on your copy, and you needed to crop out the illegal imagery. Duh, how does he know what's in the video? I don't get it. Fucking right here, you stupid fucking dumbass.
Shortly after my stream ended, someone replied to one of Slimebeast's angry tweets with a screenshot showing they allegedly had the entirety of Daisy's destruction. He was quick to blame me.
Oh boy, I didn't blame PlaguedMoth for anything in that case, and what happened was somebody said to me, "Did you realize someone is in your replies posting this content?" I didn't see it because it was already removed by Twitter. That was the long and short of it. Nobody blamed PlaguedMoth. Not me, not anyone else. If he wants to keep pushing shit like that, he will need to. Show evidence.
if you'd like to support me directly, as I'm not monetized by YouTube, and I regularly deal with harassments from people like Chris Wolf and other worse people, in fact. You can go down to the links down below and check out my premium pages to get access to all my premium content, which is 20 plus hours of video, the ultimate not safe for life iceberg, and so much more.
If this video gets any traction, which it probably won't, because let's be honest, the world is unfair. If this video gets any traction, PlaguedMoth is pretty much cooked. Anyone who sees this will absolutely know unequivocally that he is a liar, and it is very interesting to look at all the projection. He says that other people do what he does. I actually have said before on my Discord that I kind of feel bad for PlaguedMoth, because, hear me out, by his own admission in his videos, and this is not, I'm not joking, I'm not, trying to be nasty about this, I actually do sort of understand how he has gotten this way. By his own videos, he has come from a broken home. Hey, me too. Cool. Let's be best friends, but we can't because unfortunately you suck. Left at 18. At 18, he met his current wife, who, brought him in. And at 18, 19, he was expected to be a providing father for multiple children. That is really fucking tough. That is really fucking hard work, and I'm not kidding. And to earn his keep, he is doing this on the internet. So this is like a real desperate situation for him. He really fucking needs this, and he really fucking needs an ego boost. But it's not enough for him to strive to be better than other people, to be like, moral and upstanding and, nice and kind and charitable. He doesn't want to rise above the average. Instead, the way he makes himself feel better is to bring everyone down. This is like a classic, cliched kind of thing. Bringing down others to make yourself feel better. But the reason for that is he sleeps better at night, telling himself that everyone else is just as bad as him. And, that's my armchair psychiatrist take, without ever actually meeting the guy, and without knowing much about him. I just know about, his situation, and where he's come from, and how he's gotten here. And we all have shit that we've gone through. There's no judgment there. I actually do feel bad for him, and I think he's put himself in a position where he cannot back down. Beyond that, he absolutely is a piece of shit, who should not be doing or saying any of the things he's doing or saying. At a certain point, he needed to make a decision to change course, and he has decided time and time again not to. That pretty much is his sole tactic in defending himself or attacking others, is just projection. I don't really know how to end this video. It's been a long time. You guys have stuck with me through this, so that's great. I guess I'll give you a treat and just run a loop of PlaguedMoth saying that he's watched child porn.
Have you ever seen Daisy's Destruction?
No, I have not, thank God.
Do you know what it is?
I know you have.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, you have seen it.
No. Do you know what it is?
You have seen it, by the way.
Okay, sure.
You have seen it, by the way.
Okay, sure.
You have seen it, by the way.
Okay, sure.